Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence. First and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing me with another day, another opportunity to work towards becoming the man I desire to be. While I had opportunity, I just kind of working through my thoughts, my beliefs about God, and I want to say this as proof, right? So I don't believe a lot of stuff that a lot of other people believe, but if I'm wrong, if those things are necessary, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I haven't done a lot of things that other people do. And again, those people are blessed. I don't deny that. I'm just saying, some of those things aren't necessary because the things that we do in common work for both of us or all of us, right? Because it's a lot of different people. So even though I've probably been to church once in the last 6 years, I still pray daily. Now it's a period of time where I kind of fell off, but I pray. I'll say almost daily. I think it is daily at this point because if I catch myself slipping, I've started trying to make sure I put myself in position where I don't have excuses not to do the stuff that I know I need to do, and that's like literally at the top of the list. So I had my prayer written down, but recently I transferred it to the phone so that even if I'm out and I think about it, I have it versus because I don't want to miss anything. And I add to it all of the time. But if it's important enough to pray about, it's important enough to pray about every day. So it's a pretty long prayer. So I read it every morning. And then if I forget to read it in the morning, whenever I think about it, and I'll do my prayer. That and believe and talk to God. That's all I've been doing. I ain't been going to church. And again, I'm not like trying to pitch against any of this stuff. I just want people to understand, like, the stuff that I know works. It doesn't have to be so heavy. Like there was a point in time where I was in ministry and I was going to church consistently, multiple times a week, occupying a lot of time with organized religion. And I would still feel the same way then that I feel now. I felt like I was blessed then, but I haven't been doing those things. But I continue to pray. I continue to talk to God. I continue to express my gratitude, my faith, my belief in God, and I continue to be blessed. So in my opinion, that's all you got to do. You don't got to go to church. Now, that don't mean I don't want to go to church, because I really hope I can find a good church home, because it does provide some value, but I also don't have to believe everything that they believe. And as long as they can respect my belief, and as long as I'm not trying to convince anybody else at their church to believe what I believe, hopefully I can find a church where I can go enjoy and get the benefit that I get from being at church without them messing it up. Hopefully. But said all that to say this, the main reason of me recording this video is just is evidence that, like, you don't have to be in church, and you don't have to be, and I'm not, again, not pitching against it. I'm just saying, like, some people are so opposed to having a relationship with God because they feel like it gotta be this big, heavy, complicated thing, and you gotta live. I curse, I smoke weed, I drink socially, like, again, all the stuff, all the bad stuff I do to some extent, right? And he still blessed me. He ain't. Now, have I gone through some things? Yeah, but I felt like I would have gone through those things whether I smoke weed or drink alcohol or listen to gangster rap or anything. Like, all of the stuff that people try to blame or struggles on. Nah, struggles just a part of life. It's the same thing, like trying to create this unreasonable standard that doesn't exist and then use that to influence people's behavior to conform with a certain system or whatever. Like, nah, man, it ain't all that. If you believe in God, like, don't let nobody convince you that you gotta do all of this extra stuff for God to bless you, because you don't. Like, he blessed me. Now, I have delayed my blessings because of my free will and not doing what he told me to do. But anytime I've done what he told me to do and I've been where I was supposed to be, I've been blessed, and I continue to be blessed. So this is more so like for the people similar to me who may be conflicted with if you truly can believe in God. Need to plug this phone up. Like religion can be, it can be intimidating, especially if you come from similar families and communities to me, because like I said, like, religion is presented like scary in some situations. Hellfire and brimstone and condemnation and criticism and judgment. I mean, I remember as a kid, it's just like, I don't know whether it got the outcome or they felt like the means justified the ends. But I think as we look back at a lot of these situations where when I was coming up in a Pentecostal church, and if you did something wrong, you was put on blast and embarrassed, and like, you know, your business was out there. And I can understand that the negative consequences of, because that's traumatizing to a teenage girl for her to have to stand in front of the church and confess she lost her virginity to hundreds of people that, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of stuff was done that when I look back, it's like, yeah, it was a lot of stuff to turn me off from religion, but it never turned me off from God. And the only time when I questioned God is when I was conflicted about my relationship with my biological father. But at that time, I really didn't have the understanding, because God had been presented as this perfect spiritual being. Like, they made him seem like so out of reach. Not simply for me to kind of just view him as my father, because that's what allowed me to develop the relationship that I have with him, is to go to him like my father. And I didn't have a relationship with my father, and I wanted a relationship with my father. So like, I think a lot of that kind of coincided with my doubts and frustration. And again, I won't even say doubts. Like, I was just mad at God. Like, why was my life the way it was? But I don't want to ramble. Point is, I've been all over the spectrum. I've never done like hard drugs. I don't, because my dad did. I ain't want no parts of it. So, but far from perfect. Definitely not like Bible thumping, like none of that. But at a point in time, I was going that direction. I think that's what, at least part of what impacted my relationship with my kid's mom, is when I met her, I was still kind of locked into that judgmental, you know, I don't even know. I don't know what to call it. Old Testament. But I'm not that anymore. And a lot of stuff that has changed. But no matter what, like, my faith in God is what matters. Your faith in God is what matters. And you don't gotta be perfect, and you don't gotta do it somebody else's way. You talk to God for yourself. Whether you see it or not, the more you talk to him and the more he reveals to you, you will start seeing all of the things that he's already placed in your life to allow you to accomplish what he wants for you. And sometimes we can't see it because we focus on something else, but what we focused on is so small, and what he has for you is so big. And I hope that you see it as soon as possible. But like, I just hope that you get the distraction out of the way of how somebody else feel like it needed to be done, or whatever like they trying to present you, or present stuff in a certain way to make it seem like it's all about these standards. And nah, it's very, very simple. God, like, just again, as a parent, do we try to make stuff as hard as possible on our kids, or as simple? We try to make it as simple as possible for our kids. Most of the time, our kids make it harder on themselves than we would have made it on them, because we want it to be easy. We don't want to have to lecture them. We don't want to have to punish them. We don't want them to suffer. We don't want them to struggle. God don't want none of that for you either. He really doesn't. So, I mean, think about that. He made it as easy as he could possibly make it. Man, holla at me. Like, acknowledge me. Tell me, what you need, what you want. Tell me how I need to help you, and I'll do it. But you gotta do your part. But that's all you gotta do. So don't make it too complicated. If you don't do nothing else, talk to God for yourself. Put the time in to actually process where you're at in life. Look at what you're doing. Accept the fact that, again, you don't need to be perfect, but you need to be willing to change, and look at the things you need to change and change those things. And then I feel like that'll really define God's impact in your life. And I'm living proof. Like, he deliver when we do what we supposed to do. Most of the time it take us a long time to figure out, but it's not complicated. It's very simple. Just your relationship with God. Talk to him daily. Thank him for everything he bless you with. Ask him for everything you need. Ask him for everything that he wants you to have that you don't even know, and he'll do it. All right. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Till next time, Timeshare Clarence. Peace.